welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. I'm Brandon Schultz, and today I am joined by a current member of the Seahawks and a former member of the Seattle Seahawks who was part of that original 1976 season. Eddie McMillan and Kenny McIntosh, our current player, and we're going to be talking about the 4th annual draft party coming up at the Clearwater Casino, April 24th. Gentlemen, appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for inviting me.
Appreciate you for having me.
So we are less than a week away from the 2025 NFL draft, and both of you gentlemen drafted into the NFL. And I thought it'd be fun just to, with the draft coming up, to kind of get an idea of just how different your experiences were. Because I think we all know, back in 1973, back when Eddie was drafted out of Florida State to the Los Angeles Rams, it was probably a very different process for you, Eddie.
To say the least, it was an entirely different process. We didn't have all the pomp and circumstances that we had now. We had the excitement, but we didn't go to New York. We didn't get to hug the commissioner. We didn't get to do any of that. We got to hold transistor radios in our classes in college, and if they called your name, you ran out to the phone and you called the team that drafted you, and they told you exactly what they needed you to do. Okay, guy, you're on the team. We're going to be picking you up, getting you tickets. You'll be in for training camp, all of those types of things. Everything after the draft that Kenny and them experienced, we experienced too. But in terms of all of the glitz, wasn't it all.
So, Kenny, I have to imagine draft day, you were probably not carrying around a transistor radio waiting to find out who was taking you. What was your draft day experience like?
I tell you what, I definitely wasn't doing all that, to be honest. Mine was more calm, just waiting for your name to get called on the TV. Waiting for you to get the phone, then they say your name on the TV and your family just all celebrate and stuff like that, more like that. But it was a long day, I should say, for mine. Mine was a long day waiting for that call, so you can just imagine all the anxiety, the monkeys on people's backs, and just the worry and the worry eye and stuff like that. So my day was a little exhausting, I should say, man.
It is a little bit similar too for the both of you, because both of you are coming across the country. Florida State to LA, you going from Georgia all the way to Seattle. I mean, gosh, as a young guy coming out of college, what are players going through then at this moment, just leading up to draft day, not even knowing where they're going to go? Like, what are some of those feelings that go through players during that time?
Well, the first thing is you're getting a chance to fulfill your lifelong dream. That's the most important thing. Mm-hmm. The second thing, in terms of teams, you sort of have your preference, but anywhere you're drafted, then that's what you want to do. You want to have the opportunity to, as I said before, to live out your dream, and your dream is to play professional football and also to be a productive person in a productive society. So you're all excited, but not only you, and Kenny can attest to this, that support group that's around you, your family, your friends, I think they're more excited than you actually are. And then when you actually hear your name called and all your friends are patting you on the back and telling you the best things since sliced bread, you say to yourself, you've arrived.
Is that what it was like for you, Kenny? Did you have that? Did you have a lot of your family members coming to you and have that feeling?
No, they definitely had a feeling for me to see that worry go away, man. Once my name got called, once I got that call, they were so ecstatic for me, just hugs and tears, just couldn't be controlled, you know what I'm saying? Just falling down, tears falling down my eyes, everybody's eyes, and just to see that relief, because like Eddie said, it's a dream come true, man. You know, the young men been working their whole lives, 20 plus years, just to get that one call, just for this one moment, man. And for it to happen, it's a dream come true. It's a blessing, and most people don't get to experience that. You know what I'm saying? So just for me to even get my name called, no matter what round it was, man, it's a blessing. I look at it as an honor, man. Something I can tell my kids about, man. Just that's how big it is. Kids working for their whole life for that moment, man. So it definitely was a moment to remember for real.
So you had that moment, and then you're preparing in the off season. You really want to compete, and Kenny, in your situation, shoot, here you were, you're getting ready for the season, and then at the preseason practice game in Seattle, you have an injury in that preseason. You don't even make it to like the actual preseason games. It's just one of the warm up games that is at Lumen Field. What's it been like then? What was it like going through that adversity and then coming out of it, and now then getting to play?
Definitely was another say setback or adversity moment for me to to sit back and really question myself, not question myself, but to develop my mind, my mentality, on what I was doing at the moment. Because like you said, I couldn't even perform in preseason. So as that all was happening, I had to automatically be on our injury reserve. That's 4 weeks automatically. So just having that setback, I just took that time to develop and really learn the game, learn my position and learn the playbooks the plays we was going through, the playbook, like front and back. That's little things I could do. I really wouldn't try to beat on myself, man, because I know it was another like a setback, but I wasn't looking at it like that as the draft. I wasn't looking at it as getting drafted late. I was looking at it as a blessing for me to even be a part of such a great organization, such as the Seahawks and the running backs that we got there and the running backs that they had before. It's just a blessing. So me to just be in that moment and to be in there, I just wanted to do what I had to do. I knew I was getting back on the field. So my mentality was to, stay positive and keep, positive thoughts, because, the devil is real. So I did all I could do to stay positive, do what I had to do to get back healthy. And as I was healthy, they was able to see some of my abilities that they already seen before they drafted me. So I look at that as a blessing as well, because, you never know what will happen. Football is a physical sport. One injury like that happened to me can, set you down or put you in a dog pile or a dog fight and get your position back and stuff like that, or even in your position. So, me going through that was just another blessing as I look at it.
Just to add on to what Kenny is saying, I sustained the injury, but I had surgery during the off season, and I never missed any time. But I know a lot of players who have, and I know this is what Kenny probably went through. What Kenny probably went through was knowing that he was a good player and that he can contribute to the team, and that because of injury, he wasn't able to do that. So that probably was the hardest thing for him to do, to be able to just sit down and watch other people play, knowing that he can help the team. But also probably the motivation for him was the fact that he knew that he'll come back, and once he come back, he would be able to show the fans and everybody exactly the player that he is, and that's exactly what he did. Once he came back, he showed that, hey, he can be an outstanding player and he can contribute in a lot of different areas.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Great way.
Eddie, I wanted to ask you too, because hey, how cool is it to be a part of an inaugural season of a football team? Seattle creating a brand new team, something that has only happened, gosh, a handful. What if there are like 4 new teams since that 76 season? So, or not very many more than that anyway. Being a part of that inaugural team, and then on top of it, to be one of the leaders on defense.
To be perfectly honest, I absolutely hated it. And let me at first, and let me tell you why, because I came from the Los Angeles Rams. And,
Right.
I'm in Hollywood, I'm young, single, with a pocket full of money, I'm living the high life. And then all of a sudden, what? You going to Seattle? What's up with this? But it was fortunate for me because our assistant general manager name was Mark Duncan. And he was one of the primary reasons that I went to Seattle. And he said, look, Eddie, when you go to Seattle, you're going to be the leader of the team. Also, you're going to have the opportunity to renegotiate your contract. And you're going, as you alluded to, and you're going to have the opportunity to be a part of something great. And I'll tell you right now, I've never experienced anything like the first few years in Seattle. Let me tell you guys a quick story. You know, when training camp usually ends, all the guys are usually excited. I've made the team. I've made the team. Now, Kenny and them, they have the training camp over in Renton, nice and luxurious, like going to the Ritz-Carlton. We practice over in Eastern Washington and Cheney. And if you know anything about Washington State, that's way in the country. So you can imagine me coming from Los Angeles and going to Cheney that only has two stoplights. So we said, oh my God. But anyway, let's fast forward it. So once training camp was over, they gave us 2 days, 2 days off. And they said, be back to practice Monday morning, 9 o'clock. And then we'll get started on the season. So we showed up Monday morning, 9 o'clock, and we looked in front of the training camp. It was over in Caroline Point. And there was a big Greyhound bus there. And we were wondering, oh, since we're playing on turf, we're going to go to the University of Washington to play. Now, before I go on, the first time we had our meeting, when everybody came, all the players came in the allocation draft, and also with the regular draft, Coach Jack Patera was our coach. Jack Patera was very, very strict. You walk by him and you say, hello, coach, and he'll ignore you. And you'll say, coach, I spoke to you. And he'll say, my mama didn't call me coach. My mama called me Jack. That's what you'll call me, just to give you an idea of the kind of person you're dealing with. So, and Kenny can allude to when all of the guys are in the auditorium and before the meeting starts, everybody's sort of, goofing around and playing around. Jack walked in and everybody was playing. He went thump, thump, thump. He said, I'll use you until I can replace you. And then he walked out the room. Now let's take us fast forward to once we showed up for training camp. We thinking we going over to the University of Washington to practice. We walked in and Jack cut 20 guys before our first regular season game, 4 days. That's when we brought Steve Largent in. We didn't even know each other's name. We walked around the first week of practice with tape on our helmets with our names on. Little different, huh, Kenny?
That's crazy.
You have any good training camp stories about your initial memories, Kenny?
I don't think I can share mine. Mine was a little wild, man. You know, it's hot out there. Guys get aggravated and agitated,
Kenny didn't have social media now. We didn't have.
Yeah, and you're a little bit more further removed from yours.
Yeah, we be out there with the fans, man. I love joining the fans. I can say that, man. I just love after practice we go sign autographs with the fans, and that's about it, man. Or playing little games with the media team and stuff like that. But no, I can't get no story like it is now. I can tell you this, but my first year, rookie, we didn't do joint practice and nothing like that. But when McDonald came, he changed everything. Pete Carroll did, and just we did them joint practice with Tennessee. It was lit though. I ain't gonna lie to you. I liked it going to Florida. Tennessee, going to Tennessee to practice against the guys and being and stuff like that. Just to get the environment, see stuff like that. But other than that, man, no, it's been all good vibes, man.
You're breaking up a little bit, Kenny, but I do want to ask you, we got the 4th annual draft party coming up at the Clearwater Casino here on April 24th, but you also have your own foundation, Home is Where the Heart Is Foundation. Can you tell us a little bit about your foundation, what it does, and if people want to help support it, what do they need to do?
Definitely, home is where the heart is. It's just a foundation of me and my family. Something my family and I enjoy doing. It's only been a few years, but it's something I want to, get going and get big and be worldwide, because I believe there's a lot of unfortunate kids out there that's definitely looking for a handout or a blessing, and I want to be, somebody that can contribute to that.
Shelly, Grant, and myself at CEC, we've worked with Kenny as well as other people. And what Kenny is doing is he's using his platform further the cause for research and funding for autism. One of his family members has autism. So because he's in a high profile situation and he's blessed, what he and his family want to do is they want to take this opportunity to get involved in with autism, to promote the awareness of it and also the funding of it. And I think that's an outstanding thing that he's doing. And I think he should become complimented on that, because a lot of people won't step up to the plate and do the things that Kenny and his family is doing when it comes to autism and autism research. And you can see right now with our Human Health Secretary, RFK, that's one of the focuses and that's one of the things that they're talking about. And with people like Kenny, what it does is it helps move the chains and help us to get funding that we need to do research in order to help cure this debilitating disease. Hey, Kenny, could you tell us a little bit about your brother is the one who has autism? Am I correct on that?
My nephew is the one that has autism.
What's he like?
My nephew King, man, he's like he's just an energetic kid, man, that just loves to play. He loves to be a kid, and you know, he's on a nonverbal, so he loves to try to talk and get his words out and pronounce words. So you can just see him trying and just always had his smile on his face, man. And he love his grandparents, man. Just always big hugs and just smiles with the kids. So I just want to be able to listen, man, whatever I can do. And, you know, I just want to be the one to kind of help them lift it off their shoulders just for a moment or anything like that, just to see they smile like my nephew, man. That's all it is. And that's all what it's about. Just seeing the kids smile and just giving them that moment of joy.
Well, I really want to thank both of you for coming on the show today, talking about the event coming up at the Clearwater Casino on the 24th. It's going to be fun to see you guys in person there. Going to be signing autographs for everybody who shows up. But with the draft coming up, and because people who are college football alumni, I'm kind of curious. With the draft coming up, Kenny, are there any players coming out of Georgia that you're following? You're like, yeah, that's the guy I want to have on my team. Like, I'm not putting any pressure for John Schneider to draft anybody, but just maybe one of your favorite guys that you'd be excited about coming to the team.
Jalen Walker. I saw him, he's a dog. He's the best outstanding linebacker this year. Linebacker award trophy this year. He's just a dog on the field, man, and it shows. Fast, physical, explosive, and just dominant. On everything he do. So he's definitely one of the guys that I got my eye on. Hope he go early, fast. Yeah, of course, Georgia got a lot of great dogs coming up, man. Definitely every year. That's going to be every year. That's no question. But this year definitely got some dogs coming out, man. Some national champions coming out this year, man. So salute to them guys, man. Y'all boys. I hope y'all enjoy. Good luck to y'all. But definitely got some dogs coming this year, man.
Eddie, anybody out of Florida State coming out that you're interested in?
I'd like to say yes. The cupboard's a little bare. We got a lot of guys. We got 13 guys drafted last year, and you can see the results of this year. We were like 2-12. So we don't have anything really good coming out this year, but next year, talk to me. I think, as I said, we'll have some dogs. I'll be doing like Kenny. We got some dogs coming out.
Well, we're looking forward to the draft, looking forward to seeing you guys there, and definitely go and check out the Where the Heart Is Foundation. Help support that. You can help support some autism research. And gentlemen, again, thanks for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And I think with that, there's only one thing left to say. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.